Good day. Hope you are well. Today's topic is on the academic barriers caused by language barriers. This is for psychology. My name is Leighton Naidu. My student number is 21204549. We begin today by explaining the issues associated with these barriers, such as the language barriers pose as significant challenges to academic achievement in South African schools. Students from non-English speaking backgrounds often struggle to comprehend the instruction and engage effectively in learning activities. This leads to academic underperformance and contributes to educational inequalities. Based on Freienstein's theory of mediated learning experience and constructivist principles, their action plan aims to provide a significant and a systematical approach to overcoming language barriers and promoting inclusive learning in the environment. Diversity can also create a language barrier that can reflect through their academic performance as one of the main issues that many students do not understand language instruction of today, which is relatively not their mother tongue. As language barriers cause students' cognitive development and decrease academic success, in South Africa, where multilingualism is prevalent, language differences begin to drop, which is why the solutions of free and science theory have been put into place. The language barriers based on free and science theory include the goal is to remove communication barriers and create an environment where learning is bound by language comprehension. As when parents are doing a task as a monumental activity such as enrolling the child into a school for the first time, it is reassuring to make sure you understand everything regarding the basic principles and that parents and teachers and administrators are on the same page. Freienstein's mediated learning experience is a cognitive intervention method that emphasizes the role of mediation in facilitating learning. It focuses on developing learners' cognitive functions, including attention, perception, and problem-solving skills, in which we want our learners to develop critical thinking skills so they work effectively. The key principles of mediated learning experience is associated with the dynamic assessment mediated learning and cognitive modifiability based on the slide provided in page 4. In page 5, we look at our action plan, which is the enrichment plan to overcome academic barriers caused by language barriers. And we work at the first step, which is based on assessment feedbacks. Our first step we conduct a pre-assessment task or test to identify students' language proficiency levels and cognitive strengths and weaknesses. We utilize dynamic assessment tools inspired by free and science theory to assess students' cognitive modifiability and learning experience. Analyze assessment results to tailor instructional strategies and support services to meet students' individual needs. Once assessment results are analyzed, instructional strategies can be tailored to meet students' individual needs based on free and science theory. The mediated learning emphasizes the role of a mediator. A mediator is someone that advises or gives feedbacks or teaches a student as a role model based on principles. Example, either a teacher or a peer. In facilitating learning provided by structured support and guidance. Instructional strategies informed by diagnostic assessment aim to scaffold students' learning experience and promote cognitive growth. In our sixth slide, we look at the zone of proximal development in relation to Freienstein's theory. We identify each student's CPD, the range of tasks that they can perform with assistance but not independently. We design a learning activities that scaffold students' learning experience. We gradually increase the complexity and challenge level to match their ZPD. Our ZPD is our zone of proximal development, which we gather from the feedback we gain from learners' test results. Provide targeted support and guidance to students to bridge the gap between the current abilities and potential growth, as many students suffer from coming from low socioeconomic backgrounds. The MLE, also known as mediated learning experiences, emphasizes the importance of dynamic interaction between the learner and the mediator, which provides a targeted support and guidance which helps students bridge the gap between their abilities and potential for growth. In our seventh slide, we look at the integration of technological resources which have been highly modified throughout the course of the years. We try to use or integrate technology tools and resources to enhance the language acquisition and cognitive development by showing or portraying a video on a whiteboard or a PowerPoint presentation, which helps students become more focused and attentive. We use educational software and multimedia platforms to provide interactive and engaging learning experiences, which are tailored to students' linguistic and cognitive needs. We leverage digital communication tools for language practice and collaboration by fostering peer-to-peer learning and cultural exchange. When students are associated with their peers, they begin to learn and gain more information as feedback sessions take place amongst them. Where, for example, students can engage in a mathematical lesson by building 3D shapes. In this way, it helps students to work together and build a social interaction amongst each other as their mindsets are put to the work by building 3D blocks or different types of shapes. By integrating technology into the learning environment, educators can leverage the Freienstein's principles of structured mediation to facilitate meaningful learning experiences that enhance both language acquisition and cognitive development. Based on the technology resources, students have to be accommodated from various cultural backgrounds in which teachers have to be educated on the cultural among students in their classroom. In slide number 8, we look at the metacognitive strategies, which include that we teach metacognitive strategies to help students monitor and regulate their own learning processes. We provide instructions on comprehensive strategies such as summarization, questioning, self-monitoring to enhance language comprehension and critical thinking skills. Based on this section, we summarize the information that we teach our learners and for them to understand. Then we based on questions as we ask them for their feedback. And then we monitor the results that we require as each learner performs a certain task. This enhances the language comprehension and improves the way that learners speak and react to tasks. It develops the thinking skills when their mindsets are put to the work. We encourage reflective practices and self-assessment to promote autonomy and lifelong learning habits. Freienstein's theory highlights the role of reflective thinking in promoting cognitive growth. This encourages students to engage in reflective practices and self-assessment, which fosters autonomy and helps cultivate lifelong learning habits, which are central to the mediated learning experiences that are promotive to cognitive ability. Language impacts cognitive, emotional, social, physical, and language development in children. Our structural language skills like understanding sounds, vocab, and meaning, as well as practical communication tools, are both influential in a child's development. As a practicing effective languages use makes sufficient progress towards increasing vocab. In fact, language is critical to child development as a statistically significant proportion of students who struggle with learning disabilities, which is why Freienstein's theory has been put into place to form a mediated learning system where peers and parents can work with learners for their needs. Cognitive development is the basic way it refers to the measurement of intellectual academic ability through the process of learning to think. And this is where that free and science theory is one of the most applicable and most appropriate methods to help and to nurture a child in developing their desired skills for better critical thinking. Thank you.